Action. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Chemical Man Podcast. I'm your host, Chris. And today I wanted to talk about something that I've seen for a long time. And some people laugh at this, some people won't. But anyway, there's an old saying, don't get your don't get your honey where you make your money. That's what the saying is. Don't get your honey where you make your money. That's an old saying. It's been around a long time. What that means is, man, don't be messing around with people at work. If you want to date somebody at work, date them outside the plant. I've seen too many times. I've seen people mess around with fire watches, hole watches, high energy hot watches, all types of stuff. They end up getting caught. They end up losing their job. I would hate for someone to lose $150, $100 something thousand-dollar job because you took a chance and you messed around with somebody, got caught at work, and you got fired for having a relationship at work. I would hate for that if you go home to your family and do that. But it happens a lot. It's not just our industry. It's a lot of industries out there. But so if there's somebody at work you want to date, man, go outside the plant. See him outside the plant. Do your thing outside the plant. The last thing you need to do is somebody look over there and see a porta-can rocket and be like, oh no, that can't be good, And I say that jokingly because yeah, it has happened. It's happened multiple times, and I've told this story before. Long time ago, we had a guy get fired. He was he left. They kept calling him on the radio. Hey man, we can't get a hold of so and so. Finally, they got with our night soup at the time, and they got with the security. And they happened to see something in the parking lot. There, the guy was out there with his side, his side piece out there, and he turned his radio off. And they're like, "Dude, you can't be doing this." So he got fired. Next thing you know, his wife's calling up there asking why he got fired. Like, why'd y'all fire him? Why'd y'all fire him? And he didn't tell her why they got fired. He just said they got fired. But she's like, I know there's something going on. So that was a whole mess right there. But I've seen it multiple times. Yeah. You're out there working 12 hours. You start building a relationship with people. I've seen multiple marriages out there, like where somebody's married, somebody starts messing around with somebody else. Next thing you know, they're getting divorced. They're marrying somebody over here. It's just the nature of the beast. You work with somebody long enough, you've been around those things. It happens. I'm not saying it's a good thing. It really isn't. But all I'm saying is, man, don't let something stupid like that cause you to lose your job, because that's the last thing you need, is to be fired for something stupid. If I'm going to be fired, I want to be fired because I either put too much pressure on a big column, and that column fell down and hit the boss's car. That way, at least I'll have a story for the rest of the time, that plant's out there like, oh, man, Chris got fired for so-and-so because, he did this. I don't want to be like, well, Chris got fired because he was messing around with a hole watch over there. I don't want that on my legacy. I want a good legacy that I got fired. That's me. That's everybody different. Just a little video out today. I was thinking about it the other day, and I've seen it in the past, and I don't want anybody to lose their job for anything stupid. Watch your procedures. Just take your time. Wear your PPE. Anything like that. All these little things can make you lose your job, and it really sucks. Because we do have good jobs, and there are people fighting to get in here and get these good jobs on there. So take the old saying, don't get your honey where you make your money. Keep your relationship outside of work. Don't do it at the work if you can help it. If you meet people, that's one thing, but take the relationship outside of work. Have fun out there. Don't do it on there. I know a lot of companies have these rules. You're not supposed to date other people that you work with. If you do, you got to let them know. And it happens, I mean, heck, my wife and I are married, and we both work for the same company, but we're married. So, that's just how it goes on there. And some people do get married out there. But, yeah, and there's a lot of funny stories out there people can add on. I know people can talk about this all day long, and I enjoy the comments, and I enjoy listening to the funny story because that's right up my alley, man. If it makes me laugh, I don't care what it is. I'll listen to it all day long. Other things, too, is just be mindful the way you talk to people, too. Respect your responsibility, You don't want to be fired for that. You might be coming in one day and having a bad day. Somebody might ask you a question. You might snap on them. Next thing you know, they're going to be like, I don't like the way Chris talked to me that day, and they're taking you up front. So just be mindful of that too, don't do the relationships if you can help it. Please don't do that. Don't smart off the people, the wrong people, everybody has a bad day when they come in. Be careful of that. Follow your procedures, wear your PPE, ask questions, there's all this stuff ties into losing your job. And the main thing is don't be fooling around with anybody at work and get in trouble for stuff like that. Just watch your P's and Q's on there. But yeah, just a little video just to get some stuff rolling. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's some funny stories I can say. Oh yeah, there's out there. I'll have another video for that. We won't get into that one on this one. We'll have a whole other video for that about things. But anyway, everybody be safe out there. Everybody take your time. If you need help with your resumes, of course, I'm always here to help you with your resumes. If you need interview questions, if you need old tests like mechanical aptitude tests, I'm here for all that. I got tons of that stuff in there that I'm more than happy to help with. Good luck in your job hunting out there. There's quite a few been coming up lately for stuff on there. A lot of people getting interviews. Good luck to all those people out there. Good luck to everybody. Everybody just take it easy. Just watch yourself. And if you have any questions or comments, get a hold of me. I'll have my email below. But anyway, like, share, subscribe, and everybody be safe out there. And remember, don't let a fire watch, don't let a hole watch, don't let anybody else cost you your job. Just do your 12 hours. If you want to talk to them outside of work. That's the best advice I can give. Don't do any of that at the work, The last thing you know is somebody there that's making $12 an hour, $15 an hour, get you in trouble for making $50 an hour, whatever it is, So just be mindful of that. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Be safe. Until the next time, talk to you later.